I learned something new already, that Senator Wyden used to have hair and was good looking. I want to thank you for inviting me, and more importantly, as the ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee, I appreciate the opportunity to discuss some of the serious issues involving VA's pension program and how they may be affecting elderly, disabled veterans. This program is one way our nation expresses gratitude to those who have answered the call to duty in a time of war. It offers a basic level of economic security to wartime veterans who have disabled unrelated to their military service and limited means to provide for their own support. The intent is to ensure that the disabled veterans who honorably fought for our nation will never live in poverty. Given that noble but limited purpose, it has long been recognized that these benefits should be available only to those who are truly in need. But last year it came to the attention of the Veterans Committee that some organizations were marketing financial products to veterans, generally elderly veterans, so they could move assets around in order to artificially qualify for pension benefits. That's why our committee asked the Government Accounting Office to look into this issue, and we were pleased to be joined in the request by you, Chairman Cole, and Senator Wyden. That GAO investigation, along with the efforts of the Aging Committee, shed light on an entire industry aimed at convincing veterans to manipulate their assets by using products like trusts and annuities so they can become eligible for VA pension benefits. As the GAO report reflects, this practice can end up having a negative impact on some veterans. For example, it appears that these companies sometimes convince elderly veterans to buy financial products that would not provide any income during their expected lifetimes. Also, some are using misleading marketing techniques to gain the trust of veterans, providing them with inaccurate information about VA benefits or breaking their promise to help veterans apply for VA pensions. On top of that, it appears that these companies often target veterans like those with dementia, who are particularly vulnerable and who may charge them as much as $10,000 in fees. All of this raises concerns that elderly veterans may be pressured into situations that leave them without adequate resources in their greatest time of need. The GAO report also confirms that some individuals receiving VA pension actually had substantial wealth. In fact, GAO highlighted an individual who had put over $1 million into a trust shortly before being granted VA pension. It should go without saying that a program meant to provide a safety net for low-income veterans should not be sending checks to millionaires. But regardless of the amounts involved, it undermines the integrity of a need-based program if assets are being hidden in order to qualify. The bottom line is that we need to take steps to strengthen VA's pension program so that it will be there for the wartime veterans who truly need it, and will discourage companies from preying on veterans who do not. That's why Senator Wyden and I are planning to introduce a bill that will require VA, in determining who's eligible for pensions, to look at whether assets have been moved around in order for that veteran to qualify. In general, the bill would create a look-back period running for 3 years before an individual applies for a VA pension. If the applicant repositioned assets during that window, VA could deny pensions for up to 3 years, depending on the value of the assets that were moved. As a safeguard, VA would have the authority to disregard asset transfers during the look-back period and allow a pension to be paid if it would avoid an undue hardship. These new protections should help to discourage abuses while making sure that the benefits will be available to those who genuinely are in need. This approach is consistent with the GAO's recommendations, is similar to the rules already in place for other need-based programs like Medicaid, and is in line with the changes VA has acknowledged are needed. Mr. Chairman, I think this bill would be a common-sense step in the right direction to deal with many of the issues your committee will be discussing at today's hearings. I look forward to working with the ranking member, the chairman, and all members of your committee, as well as Senator Wyden, in hopes that this bill will become law and will become law soon. Again, I thank you for the invitation to be here and for the attention of this committee on what I think is a very grave issue.